joining us today. As people join in and keep joining in, we can start with the brief introduction and about the session, about the SASEANEE, about the youth who are joining us today. And about myself, I am Sushmita Chanda, Program Coordinator for SASEANEE Network at Center for Environmental Education. And it's a pleasure to be moderating today's session for the Regional Youth Dialogue on Community Action and Conservation. And let me take a moment to brief you about the SASEANEE network, what it is. So I'll move to the next slide. Yes. So it's basically a environmental program in the region of South and Southeast Asia, a network which is working for environmental education. It is backed by global environmental leaders and organizations, not only in the region but across the world. And we are promoting environmental literacy and sustainable living in the region. Through our digital platform called SASEANEE Connect, we try to update the platform and share resources of upcoming opportunities and resources from the region, curated specially for the youth, educators, and community members from the region, and share with them to get the access of the upcoming opportunities. And there are other programs as well, like such dialogues with youth, regional dialogue, and international conferences, where we actively involve youth to share their experiences, on ground experiences, different sustainability initiatives, and entrepreneurship journey. Through these dialogues, they get to inspire other members also in our region. So this is the kind of regional dialogue we are going to conduct today also. This is the second regional dialogue of the year, and we have already conducted one in January on promoting sustainable lifestyles. And today we are going to conduct on community action for community action in conservation. And to promote community action in conservation, we have these globally recognized youth leaders from different countries with us today. Some of them are global awardees also. So there are different aspects as we're going to see in today's session, where they are leading in the form of as an organization or as an individual, how they are leading, youth in community conservation actions. So going forward, we are delighted to have them today with us from Bangladesh, Malaysia, and India, who will be sharing their examples today. And I would firstly like to welcome Dr. Bhagyashree, and she is a program associate in environmental sustainability at Mobius Foundation, Delhi, with the PhD in environmental sciences. She works on sustainability education, youth engagement, community-based environmental programs, and is actively involved in initiatives such as International Conference on Sustainability Education, which they conduct every year, bringing together various experts in the field and youth and other members. And Youth for Earth is another campaign, and also she is an active member and part of SASEANEE network also. Her work focuses on connecting education, youth leadership, and community action for sustainability and conservation. So over to you, Bhagyashree, if you can just share your experience and on how, as an organization, you are leading such roles with youth in community and taking examples from India. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sushmita, for this brief introduction, and it's really impressive. Thank you so much for this. I would like to respond whatever you are asked for, key, for example, from our projects. So we will definitely later I will share the key programs of our organization. First of all, I really sincerely thank to Miss Madhvi ma'am, to you Shushmita, and all SASANEE member for inviting me to speak at this important dialogue or webinar on regional youth dialogue community action in conservation. But as you have already shared my brief introduction, I have much connected with SASEANEE as a core partner of our organization. My organization is core partner of SASEANEE, and I am coordinating SASEANEE from my team. So it's a great opportunity for me to be a part of this webinar. When we talk about our organization mission, so they focusing on sustainability education, they work on population stabilization, women empowerment, girl education, youth engagement, research and development, biogas implementation, and many other initiatives. But today I'm going to share some of the major project which is directly connected with youth, and youth are the main attractive point for this webinar and for future also for the sustainable action, Youth are the central of attraction and central of work. I said we can say it's a change. They are a change maker for our society. So by sharing our project initiative and our work, we can directly connect it with the youth and community. That youth connected with the community to address their community problems, and they address a solution for the communities by implementing such type of education campaign and project. So we have two project from our organization which is directly focusing on youth and youth leadership. First is Youth for Earth campaign. You can share the second slide, Shushmita. First is Youth for Earth campaign, and second is MYCL. When we talk about both of the program is managed by the guidance of reporting heads. When we talk about Youth for Earth is a flagship program of International Conference on Sustainability Education. Sustainability Education Conference is held every year by the hosted by the Mobis Foundation. This conference bring together educators, teachers, researchers, student stakeholder, NGOs, and many organizations which are directly or indirectly connected with the sustainability education for betterment of the society. So this Youth for Earth platform is an initiative of that conference, and this is a competition, academic type of competition campaign, in which this platform is a dynamic platform for youth innovators to showcase practical solution, share ideas, and collaborate on projects that promote sustainability at local, national, and global level. So these are some topic on which they have student have to submit their project, which is climate change, climate action, biodiversity conservation, waste management, water conservation, and different other topics which are directly connected with the society and address the society's problems. So when we talk about the format of the Youth for Earth campaign, so participants first register for this campaign and then work on their project for more than 6 months. They are required to identify a community problem and develop a project that offer a meaningful solution for the betterment of the society. This is the main aim for this project. This is the format of the project, how they can implement the project, and after that they have to submit their project to us for recognizing if for for time being over the year. This is the seventh edition of this Youth for Earth. This is the banner of Youth for Earth, and the this year theme of Youth for Earth is educate, innovate, transformate, youth leading sustainability solution. Next slide, please. I can say till date, we have engaged more than 4,000 youth by this campaign, receive over 300 plus projects, and awarded more than 40 projects. So what make this project stand out for this campaign? The project should be relevant to the sustainability challenges. Innovation should be there and creativity should be there. Climate positive impact should be there for submitting the project. Replication is very important. If you do something and it is not usable for the future, it is not much impactful. So these criteria have to fulfill by the project. After that, when you have get the selection of your project, so what you get from, so you will there is the two category, junior and senior category. You will recognize.
Sorry, madam, you're on mute.
Also get the cash prize of first, second, third, and fourth from both the categories. So this is the attraction of point. I can say this is the main attraction of this campaign. So this is the seventh edition, and till date we have already received 240 registration from youth. They have registered for our campaign, and later on for we have give after registration they will follow the submission process, and they will submit their project in related format. So these are some, whatever you say, format of this conference, format of this campaign. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Through this, I just want to showcase. Just
Yeah,
showcase whatever. This is the last year winner project, which is I'm going to showcase in this webinar. So please play if
sure.
yes.
Our planet is drowning in waste. Rivers are choked. Millions remain unemployed. What if one small innovation could tackle all of it? Introducing PeelFlex, waste to wearable change. PeelFlex transforms everyday kitchen waste, like banana peels and vegetable scraps, into a biodegradable, flexible and water-resistant material. No plastic, no textile base, just nature, reimagined. As part of our PeelFlex journey, we took our vision to classrooms, engaging peers through interactive speak-ups. From waste to wonder, we shared the science, process and purpose behind our biofabric. These sessions sparked awareness, curiosity and conversations around sustainability, inspiring others to rethink everyday waste. Developed by BBPS Eco Warriors, PeelFlex was proudly showcased at the Van Mahotsav 2025.
The project, I think everyone able to see this
Yes.
impactful initiative and project submitted for Youth for Earth campaign in 2025. They are winning, they have a winner selected from junior category and they get, I think, second prize for this project. And they have awarded more 30,000 and get a platform and get a certificate from the eminent personalities and recognized by the different peoples and networking. So many opportunities are there through these programs. So they are basically working waste to wealth, how they are converting waste to wealth and encouraging people, classroom and connect with community to encourage people and aware people how they can connect and give some example and be some example for the sustainability. So these are all about the Youth for Earth campaign. Next slide. I just want to share our second initiative of our organization, which is Mobius Young Climate Leader for Himalayan Development. This is very impactful and very impressive program which is run by our organization. And when we talk about MYCL is a flagship initiative of Mobius Foundation aimed at developing young climate leaders through education, skill building, and community based action. The key strength of MYCL is a Mobius young professionals. What we can do through this program, we develop young professionals. We select young graduate from environment and forestry backgrounds and provide them with intensive training in climate change, conservation, and sustainability. We also build their skill in communication, research, and documentation, field engagement, and project implementation. By this, we develop young professional for Mobius Young Climate Leader for Himalayan Development. So, like this, we develop more. Till now, we have developed more than 60 young professionals. They are working toward implement this program in the Himalayan region, more than 7 states in Northeast India. The basically the focus area, what is the objective to build these professional and what they do after they getting the training and everything. They implement of the Pani Pahad curriculum, which is designed by the Cambridge University, promote of environmental education in schools, capacity building of youth professionals, and research and community based conservation initiative. So these are the objective of the program, and by developing these professional, we encouraged of to them to build these objective to the schools and different community centers and different organization of which is focusing on environment and sustainability. When we talk about the Pani Pahad curriculum designed by the Cambridge University, I have already written there, focuses on water conservation. The Pani Pahad, Pani is a water, Pani Pahad curriculum focuses on water conservation. These MYPs, Mobius Young Professionals, ensure that global curriculum is localized to address regional challenges such as water scarcity, biodiversity loss, waste management, climate change in the Himalayan region, implemented by interactive and activity based learning. They conduct so many activities in schools and colleges. They go there and they connect with the teachers and principal. They get us approvals. They circulate, implement these curriculum, which is different from the EVS curriculum. This is something different. They not only give the theoretical learning, they take the student from the field. They encourage them to connect with the problem, they identify the problem, they understand the problems, and they nurture their thinking, or we can say from the earlier stage they build the ability to understand the environment and their or what is the meaning of conservation. So like this, we have till date, we have implemented Pani Pahad curriculum in 112 school in all 7 states of Northeast India except Manipur, and different training, different ways, different other activities, conservation, biodiversity mapping, forest conservation, beekeeping, bird watching, livelihood, and different through different activities, they encourage students and different other community people to understand the importance of environment, to understand importance of awareness, and so many other topics are there to connect with the people and communities. So these are some photos which at the time they are going for the training for the workshop. They are the Mobius young professional. These are the Mobius young professional. They are getting the training through the workshop and environmental education. There are some people from the Cambridge University, which is retired professor. They are used to take some classes to understand the Pani Pahad curriculum. So these are some activities they are understand about the different type of curriculum, yeah, implementation program, which they further use to inbuilt or implement in the schools and colleges. Next slide. Next slide, Sushmita. Yes. Uh, no, before one. Yes. MYPs engage in community interaction. They go door to door and they aware people about the environment, about the sustainability, about the crisis in the environment, water crisis, and different other regional activities are there. So by doing this, what they achieve, Mobius young professional, what they achieve, they improve communication and facilitation skills, enhance leadership and management ability. They also not only they implement the things, they also build their skills by doing these type of activity. So before they are becoming a professor, they are a student, but by doing these type of activity, they become a professional, and in future they're going to lead a sustainability for the future to protect our environment. So these are the initiative, these are the two major initiative of our organization. First is Youth for Earth campaign, by which they can submit their project, they can identify the ground root problems, connect with the society, understand the problems and different other things. And the second one is Mobius Young Climate Leader. Through this, we build a climate professionals, Mobius Young Climate Professionals. They are connect with the community, connect with a school to implement environmental education in their curriculum, Pani Pahad curriculum, which is basically connected with our regional problems, and They build a solution by different type of activity. They connect people, they connect. These are some glimpses of the school. They go for schools and they connect with peoples. So like this, I just want to say ki these are two major activity of Mobius Foundation, which are mainly focusing on youth, and the youth are using for the purpose to build something better for the environment. And I just want to conclude by saying this ki these two programs not only educate people, they encourage youth to become a leader for the future. One more thing I just want to, this is this slide, I don't want to say about this time. I just want to conclude for conservation. Just first one, then third one slide, last to third. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I just want to encourage all of you. I know that there is so many young professionals, our youth is there, they are connected with us right now. So I just want to encourage them all ki conservation start with a small action. You not need to become a professor, you not need to become a speaker of some webinar or some type of big event. It's not like this. You just start your action from your school, from your college, from your community, from your class. So it will be okay to give something important to your environment. So I think this is it from my end. I just want to explain something about our initiative or our coming program, which is International Conference on Sustainability Education. One, I think. Sushmita?
I yes, I would
Yes.
request you to quickly conclude. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. I just want to say that this is the 8th International Conference on Sustainability Education, which is done every year by the Mobius Foundation. This is the platform where Youth for Earth campaign get recognized. So this is going to held on 2nd and 3rd September on 2026. So we encourage all of you to kindly join. I also request my colleague Mr. Aryan to share the detail of the conference Youth for Earth and other activities of our project in the chat box. So if anyone want to connect with us or want to know about our conference about Youth for Earth and other activities, they can connect. So thank
I
you
think
so
there
much
are a
for
few. Thank you
connecting
so
with
much.
us.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I think there are a few questions which we'll take up in the end.
Okay,
Related about
definitely I will do.
campaigns, and thank you so much for sharing those insights and experiences in details, like how youth are actively working in communities. Now, moving forward, I would like to go to our next speaker. Yeah. So, Manisha Beam Nupun, she is a co-founder of Pachula Foundation based in Bangalore, Bangladesh. She's a trans woman leader, researcher, and youth trainer who advocates for climate justice, youth leadership, LGBTQ rights, sex workers' dignity, and health awareness, focusing on promoting inclusive livelihoods and green entrepreneurship while working with national and international programs and partners. She is a recipient of multiple global awards, including NWWE 30 under 30 and Diana Award and UNOPS 30 under 30 for her commendable work in this sustainable and livelihood related work. Yeah. So over to you, Ms. Manisha. You can please share your experience on importance of inclusive community engagement to promote sustainable livelihoods and skill development in this sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shushmita, and thank you, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, I also have a brief video if you that you have requested. If you want, I can play that and then you can speak whatever you feel.
Could you please play the video, then I can speak.
Okay, sure.
আমি মনীষা, আপনার মতোই একজন সাধারণ মানুষ ও বাংলাদেশী নাগরিক। এটাই আমার প্রথম পরিচয়। আপনি একজন নারী বা পুরুষ হতে পারেন, আমি একজন ট্রান্সজেন্ডার। আমি একজন সামাজিক উদ্যোক্তা। কাজ করছি আমার মতো আরও ট্রান্সজেন্ডার মানুষের পথ যেন সুন্দর হয় সেই লক্ষ্যে পথচলা ফাউন্ডেশনের সাথে। তারই ধারাবাহিকতায় পথচলা ফাউন্ডেশন, সেভ পেট ও ইউএনডিপি বাংলাদেশ যৌথ উদ্যোগে কাজ করেছি ভিন্ন ধারার একটি ইনিশিয়েটিভে। পিছিয়ে পড়া 16 জন ট্রান্সজেন্ডার ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালকে আরএনজি সেক্টরে হার্ড স্কিল ও সফট স্কিলের মাধ্যমে দক্ষ জনবল গড়ে তুলতে আমাদের এই প্রকল্পের মূল উদ্দেশ্য ছিল।
সেফের হলো একটি আর্থিকভাবে সাশ্রয়ী ও পূর্ণ ব্যবহারযোগ্য স্যানিটারি ন্যাপকিন, যা একটি নিরাপদ এবং সংক্রমণ মুক্ত স্বাস্থ্য প্রদানের জন্য ডিজাইন করা হয়েছে। পরিবেশ বান্ধব সেফ প্যাড 37টি অধিক জেলা সহ রোহিঙ্গা নারী কিশোরীদেরকে নিয়ে কাজ করেছে। ইউএনডিপি ও পথ চলার সহযোগিতায় আমরা বাংলাদেশে প্রথমবারের মতো আরএনজি সেক্টরের 16 জন ট্রান্সজেন্ডার ব্যক্তিদের মাধ্যমে প্রস্তুত করেছি পুনরায় ব্যবহারযোগ্য স্যানিটারি ন্যাপকিন, যা অসম্ভব ভালো লাগার বিষয়।
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, over to you, Monish.
Hello everyone hello. Already you all knew that I am a transgender woman. I am also representing the sex worker community and living in Chattogram Hill Tracts. As you already knew that I'm the founder of the Potchala Foundation. The Potchala Foundation is a sex worker youth-led organization working for LGBTIQ people, sex workers from different identities,
Manishi, can you please
and
turn on
other
your camera?
marginalized.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you please turn on your video is not visible. Can you please check it?
My
Okay.
internet is not stable here. That is why.
Oh, oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
please continue.
our work focuses on dignity, safety, and equal opportunities for those who are often excluded from the society. Over the past few years, we have worked to amplify the voice of transgender people and sex workers who are affected by social stigma, violence, and economic exclusion. We organize community dialogue, storytelling initiative, and advocacy campaign to highlight issues such as access to health service, livelihood opportunities, and protection from discrimination. At the same time, we connect this issue with climate justice. Many transgender and sex worker communities live in vulnerable areas where floods, cyclone, and extreme heat affect their livelihood and safety. Through Potchala, we raise awareness about climate impact, provide information, and build community resilience through intersectional and feminist lens. This, however, our journey has not been easy. We face stigma, threats, and barriers to accessing resources. Many transgender activists and sex workers struggle to be recognized as a leader or decision makers in climate discussion. That is why we, Potchala Foundation and UNDP together made an initiative called EcoPet, also known as SafePet. And SafePet is a 100-time washable sanitary napkin that is made by transgender sex workers, and it will be made for the girls and females. Next slide. And this EcoPaid is made from the river, ponds, ocean plastics. And after collecting the plastics from those resources, they recycled in polyester-based materials, and then they made from that materials to convert in the raw cloth, and they made it as safe pad. And safe pad is a 100-time more than 100-time washable, and
Manisha, I think we lost you, your voice. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
out of the network. So actually, we connected this project to gender equality, health services, economic empowerment, um, and the inclusion of the transgender and sex worker. But we have some challenges here, like we could not use the term sex worker. That is why we use the term is transgender, because of before the 2024 we found that this term was very friendly for the community whom are living in Bangladesh. But now the scenarios totally change. Like India and Bangladesh are transgender sex worker are face similar challenges. And now we are produce this EcoPad in a RMG with partnership with the RMG, and we are trying to solve in minimal amount that any girls or female can purchase minimal amount. Like if we go any store or medicine shop, the pets are very high expensive, but our separate is low prices and 100 and washable. That is why we recommended the people to use our pets, and it's also um, harm free and medically tested from the 8 or 10 different international medical tested and scientific tested. That is why it's totally harm free and uh, good for health. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening me. I'm not very good in English because of I had to drop out my college due to my gender identity crisis, and I still learning English from the Google, from Chat GPTs, AI, and conversation like this webinar. So thank you, everyone, for listening me. I believe if you find any transgender or LGBTQ people or sex worker, please make them friend, make them siblings, because of they have heart, they are human beings, and they are born with blood. So we are not different from say, cisgender men and women. We want our dignity, safety.
Thank you, Manisha, for sharing that message. And I think your English is very good. And thank you for sharing the example from the community of promoting sustainable livelihood through the EcoPads program and generating livelihoods through your program. And it's very interesting to know the work that you are doing in all the domains. Thank you so much. And yeah, so moving forward, I would request our final speaker, Mark Leo from Malaysia, to join us. He's there. I think move to the next slide. Yeah. Yes. So Mark Leo, he serves as the president of Sarawak Eco Warriors and is also co-founder of Plastic Plants for Plastic in Malaysia. He is also an NAAA 30 under 30 awardee and environmental educator, sustainability trainer, and specializes in resource mobilization, making impact-driven program designs. And he has been working in supporting sustainability initiatives across 10 plus countries. So I welcome you, Mark, to share your strategies and highlight the strategies that you do with community in impactful resource mobilization and enabling youth engagement mechanisms in the community. So over to you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you are. My name is Mark, and I'm from Malaysia. This is just sharing a little bit about the work that I do. So, as an overall, I started up my own environmental NGO about 9 years ago. That is called Sarawak Eco Warriors. And if any of you are not sure what Sarawak Eco Warriors is, Sarawak is actually the name of the place that I come from. So Sarawak is a part of the island in Borneo. And I also started, and halfway through, I also started up my own business called Plants for Plastic. And over here, we have an event space, we sell plants. And the idea of both of it comes together sort of like a social enterprise essentially to essentially create more green jobs and opportunities, especially for young people. Along the way, there were also a lot of reasons for me to support other young people, and how I did that was to by becoming a professional trainer, and that is some of the certifications that I'm showing on screen here. I'm also taking up a role under the Global Youth Biodiversity Network Southeast Asia as a regional coordinator. So I help young people contribute meaningfully towards biodiversity policy and governance as well. Can I go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so this would just be a quick overview on how I make an impact within my own community. And for people, not just young people, but for people to be able to contribute meaningfully in environmental conservation, my observation is they need three things. The first one would be an opportunity to develop a capacity or gain that interest in nature related themes. And once they have that interest, the next step would be building an avenue, or a place, or a pathway where they can continue contributing their contributing towards the sustainability efforts. And some of you may see it as a job, or maybe a place to volunteer, or maybe even working with the government to come up with suggestions to help more people. And the last one would be very important to sustain both of the opportunities and avenues, is having a support system. The support system is very important because oftentimes we see there are young people who want to do something for conservation, for environmental education and all of that, but then they reach a point where they cannot continue their journey, either because their family and friends do not agree with what they are trying to do, or maybe they are not able to secure a full-time job in doing all of this, and they cannot volunteer forever. So there's various ways and support systems that are needed in order to sustain this movement and growth. The place that I come from, it is a very small place. Oh, sorry, we can go to the next slide. It's a very small place. In Malaysia, is actually the 12th most mega biodiverse country in the world, and about 60% of that biodiversity is native to Sarawak. The problem is that they are not able to find that love and appreciation towards the native biodiversity, because all their life they grow up reading a syllabus or watching National Geographic, where we say the frozen Arctic has polar bears, and the ice caps are melting, or maybe perhaps the Amazon rainforests are in danger, but they don't realize what's actually in their backyard. And if they cannot find that love and appreciation, then they cannot protect it. But instead, they will still tell me that conservation is important, but elsewhere. So part of what we do is localizing conservation, making sure that content is accessible for more people, especially when we look at the local lens. Next, please. And when we introduce environmental matters, it's not just about going into schools telling people like, "Oh, this is the right thing to do," but one of the foundations of it all is actually creating communities, places where people feel safe to talk to one another, places where people don't feel like environmental conservation is such a far topic. but instead, it could be just something that they want to do over the weekend. For example, they could be a beach cleanup, and maybe if they come for the beach cleanup, they'll feel like, hey, this is not so bad. Like the people here are quite fun, the activities are really good, and from that point onwards, they go deeper and deeper, wanting to contribute more towards nature and sustainability. And for context, this is really important for where I come from, because as a place that is very rich in biodiversity, we only have about 4 NGOs for the whole area. And if you've never been to Sarawak before, for comparison, Sarawak is about 390 times the size of Singapore. So it's a huge space. And out of those 4 NGOs, that amounts to about 60 jobs in total. So it's really, really little. That's why we are really working at the foundational stage of building communities that will support one another. Next slide, please. And when we build these communities, something that's really important is really about managing facilitation, because the scope that we're going against now is that young people or people will be in various industries, will be in various backgrounds and sectors. Creating this safe space for people to learn is important, but facilitating this growth means that appreciating the background and the experiences that they already have. So to be a conservationist, you don't have to be a scientist or a researcher. And like me, myself, I don't have this background. My background is actually in business. And I believe that there's a lot of knowledge that we can gain if we work together with a multidisciplinary group. So you imagine if you have other people from business, people from the architecture realm, you have people who are designers, and you have people who are artists or social workers all coming together, people from the government coming together, and exploring how can we better grow our community and our society, because the idea for facilitation is not 1 + 1 = 2, but 1 + 1 = 3. The 3 symbolizes the generation of new ideas and innovation. Okay, next please. And in transformative environmental education, we will look a little bit further. When we talk about meaningful participation, the word meaningful implies that that people will have an opportunity to really contribute towards governance, towards policies, because the decisions that are made today will be translated to the next generation. If young people are not involved in decision-making process today, for the next 30, 40, 50 years, they are going to live through these decisions. That's why it's important to have young people who are knowledgeable about these kinds of global policies. They have an avenue to contribute meaningfully. Before you contribute, you understand why are you contributing and what's at stake. And you have to do it in a proper way. And as you can see in this picture here, this was one of the interesting surveys that we did. We did this in every country, no, not in every country, in 10 countries in Southeast Asia, how we map the contributions of young people towards global policies, global biodiversity policies. Every country has its own national report, which is shared with their governments, and also there is a regional synthesis, which is used as representation for the Southeast Asia region itself. So these are some of the ways that we continuously get young people involved. And the idea behind getting these young people involved beyond the environmental education phase is that they come in not to create their own programs or push for their own agendas, but to support policymakers and decision makers in the ongoing initiatives to strengthen what is already there. Because at the end of the day, it is more important to have a strong policy rather than a weak policies that just say young people need to be included. Next, please. Okay. And the last one is, it's important to see a way that young people can continuously perform their jobs. This was the last item on the triangle that I shared previously, where you need a support system to sustain. And the best one is actually it's actually giving them the capacity to continuously create an income, a way for them to continuously run their own operations. And honestly, this is a really, really difficult step. But I think it's really, really important that we start looking into it, especially with, all of us know that the world is quite unstable now, and grants are getting much harder to year by year. Grants are getting much harder to access. So we have to stop following the same operations. We need to understand how to diversify, how to continuously sustain our operations beyond grants. And this is what I would recommend more NGOs out there. And this will be a really scary journey for those who have never done it before. But my last can I go to my last slide, please? The last thing that I would like to share actually is, in whatever phase that you're going through, if you're trying to diversify and trying to try out new things, the first thing you need to do is just try and make it. It does not have to be perfect. It just is it You just need to make sure it's able to function and it fits a purpose, and you can always make it good later. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing those insightful, rich, and diverse experiences. From sharing your strengthening the local awareness among youth to policy level knowledgeable, building knowledgeable youth. It was very rich to know all those experiences, and thank you so much to all the speakers as well on sharing those insights of the work which they are doing in their country and beyond the country also. And I would now like to open the floor to the audience. If there are any questions or anything, they can raise the hand or drop in their questions in the chat. We would take the questions according to the speakers. Thank you. Yes, Alapini Deshmukh has raised the hand. So yeah, please ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Greetings to all of you, and really inspiring, insightful sessions. Quick question is, I think I see most of the speakers informing about developing a curriculum for sustainability. Just wanted to understand, how do we make it contextual a country for a specific country, and because there's so much in terms of the courses which are already there. Don't want to reinvent the wheel, but if you could just suggest, because I'm building on something, but if it's already available, probably it could be a reference instead of building it again. So that's one thing. And second question is, today's in the education curriculum, they already have environmental sciences, right? So when we as an NGO approach schools to have this for initiation and sensitization, what should be our approach? So based out of experience of any of the speakers, if they could guide. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So maybe Bhagyashree or Mark, or if you want to say, because you were sharing the policy level and she is also on curriculum. So any of you would like to answer that?
I can start. Sorry, I didn't quite get the second question, but for the first one, it's really like, I think you can just go through the material first and really see what fits your purpose, because it's really important that you really know what you want to share. There's so much content online, and the best thing you can do is don't share everything. If you're looking at a communications base, so I learned this from Walt Disney, because a few years ago I was fortunate enough to have a training with them, and they actually recommended to me, if your organization has 10 operations, drop 8 or 9 of them. Focus on one thing. Because you think about Walt Disney, what do? They do video production, they make cartoons. And aside from that, they do Disney World. So these are the only things they do. And they do it so well that all of us know about Disney. It becomes such a strong movement going forward. So the same that of what you can do, understand what different content and materials are available. Make sure you are knowledgeable for cross-referencing, and prioritize something that you really want people to know. I hope this helps.
Yes, Mark, I did. That was helpful.
I
I
can
think
also
focus is
add
the
something in this question. I think Alpini, I am spell your name correctly or not, I don't know.
it's Alapani, but yeah, I understand it's
Alapini.
a
Okay,
difficult.
okay. Thank you. I just want to say that you have just asked we have already environmental science in our syllabus. Yes, very true. But when you compare before 1 decade before and present scenario, so you can able to understand that children know about the environment present days. So, but we have to give the more awareness to the society, to the schools and colleges and institute. So that's why we need more and more tactic to follow these our syllabus. How we can something do better according to the society problems, according to the regional problem, to identify the regional problem, and then we make some type of curriculum which is really effective. So that is the most we are working for our project, one of our project in MYCL, which is known as I've already shared that Pani Pahad curriculum, but we have changed it as a localized based. We have changed something which is address the localized problem, and then we can build in the schools and colleges. That is much better way to understand the local problem, to understand the local problem, then build the curriculum accordingly by inspiring by the global curriculum and centralized with the local communities. So that is the main thing we are doing, and we have to do for future to give the more clear perspective for the future generation and children as well.
Sure. Thanks, Dr. Bhageshri.
Thank you. So we have one question from Jean Paul. He has raised his hand. I would like to go to him from Congo. Yes.
Thank you so much for giving me the question, and let me say good evening for everyone. And is on my side is good afternoon right now. I really appreciate this discussion for today, and it's wonderful. I know Dr. Bashiran, she knows me very well because I have been to India
Yes.
from his invitation.
I know
So
Mr. Jain very well. He is a participant and a speaker in last year ICSC. So we are happy. We are very happy to see you there. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have maybe three questions for you guys that I want you to clearly me so that I can understand. Maybe I can just jump on your work that you are working that side. The first question is how can local communities, especially youth, be more effectively integrated into decision-making processes on conservation and regionally and intentionally levels?
Okay.
Did you get that question? Should I repeat?
Yeah.
Should
I
I
think
repeat?
I think you are asking ki how we inbuilt
How?
behavioral change in community or in youth, something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Okay. So you just, I just suggest to you, you are in education field and working toward the environment and sustainability and environmental education field. You just tell your student or whatever group is there, you just tell them ki start with a small action. Start with a small action, not become a scientist, not need to become a profession or something like that to make a change. You just start with a small changes like saving water, save electricity, reduce waste, planting tree, ठीक है, protecting local community, address local problems. So like this you can promote sustainability and aware student to get in how they can able to change their behavioral and be build their ability to do something better. So like this small action is more important than take a bigger action. It's not possible for one person to change everything in a one go, but when you try to do you can do. So that is the main thing I really want to encourage people and your students and everyone.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Doctor. Thank you so much again.
I'll
And
just take
the second one is The second one is what sustainable financing mechanisms exist or can be developed to support community-led conservation initiative in our world. If you said in our world, I mean in our 4 or 5 continents.
Um,
I can add to that. So I think what's important before you develop any financing mechanism, like an income source for communities, what will be important will be actually assessing what do the communities need. So, and the first one is, what do the communities need, what do the communities have, what are your who's in your marketplace, like who are your clients and buyers, and then later on really identifying how you can scale up the production. And sorry, when I say production, it means looking into different sets of products and services, and really the whole process of understanding that is starting. I Going for a grant is really good, but you cannot sustain off a grant forever. But that can help you doing your focus discussions to really understand the community's needs, and really understanding how they want to grow and how they want to move forward. From that point onwards, it becomes much easier. For example, a community that is working in, let's say, a rural area, one activity that I am planning to do with them is getting rural youth and urban youth to work together to actually define what is the resource available, and it could be certain types of plants that they are producing there. The next step would be, what can these plants be transformed into, what is the available resources, and who are the markets. If you are targeting the tourist market, what the tourists like to buy. And if, let's say, the answer is candles, or tourists like to buy tea or air fresheners, then how can you come in and make your product different from all the other sellers? And since we're looking at an environmental perspective, how can we be a green production? In the longer run, then we'll continue to see what are the different players that are engaged with products and services. For example, you look for people who are doing conferences, you look for people who manage events, and all those become your small income sources. And in the long term, these small sources paired with other services, other products, it becomes much, much bigger and much more sustainable. So you don't have to worry so much about the usual, looking for grants, making sure there's money. What if there's a gap between your funding? Yeah, I hope this helps.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mark, for giving those answers, and Bhagishri and other speakers also. And I think we are running out of time. I would like to just take one or two, maybe last Madhvi ma'am was asking a question, I think, to Mark. Ma'am, if you want to
No,
say
I think
something.
Mark has already provided a link. I think we'll copy that. Thank you, Mark, for that. I wanted to know about the regional synthesis of the 10 countries, if the report is available or not. I just had a question for Manisha, if Manisha is still there. And it's connected with Adita Saxena's question. She's asking how can a school work in collaboration with you for sustainability and for LGBTQ. My question is actually to do with what have been the key learnings from your experience, Manisha, and with working specifically on the livelihoods component with the trans community, and the focus on what next. How do you want to take it forward? Is there a plan to scale it up, and so how are you planning to do that? If
I Thank you so much for the questions. Um, Actually, we are trying to this initiative in broader and large scale. But right now in Bangladesh, we face some religious majority groups backlashes. So this is the really challenging for us. If people know about that this project are made by transgender or LGBTIQ, they will not purchase this product.
okay.
So what we do actually, we we made this product internally by LGBTIQ and sex worker-led people, but we did not show this documentary or show this project to the online or ordinary people. So this is really challenging for us, but we are trying to find out how to solve this issue uh, because of some of startups or company, they do not want to include the people of LGBTIQ and sex workers. After the emergency crisis created the fall down of former prime ministers because of she gave us the legal recognition as a third gender in 2013. But now this government and other opposition parties are not recognized these things, and they are not talking about our rights, dignity, or protection. So even our draft protection draft bill denied from the Ministry of Social Welfare. So it's really challenging, and our core partner is United Nations agencies in Bangladesh. They are not interested right now to working with us because of they do not want any they do not want any reputation their reputation lays in front of the government or ordinary people. They do not tell anything in front of us, but they do not want to work with us. We found some approaches, found their approaches is not friendly right now. So we believe that we are trying to solve this issue. As I was a government representative in last cohort, and also I'm the national award winning transgender activist from Bangladesh in 2022. So through this my award recognition, I'm trying to communicate with government to solve these things. Thank you.
All the best for that, Manisha. It's really an uphill battle, but I'm sure it will see a positive light of the day. Very lot of best wishes to you for that, and your everyone associated with your initiative. Okay, I think there was a question from Shuvo, Sushmita, that we could take that and then end it, I guess, if he
Yeah,
still has a question.
yeah. Sure, if you have, you can unmute and
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are.
I'm a visually impaired person from Bangladesh. I live in Bandarban. I'm a computer programmer also. I want to work for our city. I want to stop illegal hill cutting and illegal poaching. For that, I built an application called Aranya Distri. And I want to work with this application. This application is a report-based application. With this application, people can report silent to government, silently report to government to stop this type of thing. But I am facing challenge now. I don't know how can I reach people. My application. How can I collect volunteer because I am a visually impaired person and I cannot walk alone outside. So I don't know how. I have so many plans. I want to build a organization, lead an organization for environment and nature and wildlife also. But I don't know how can I come true my dream. Please guide me if you have any suggestion. Thank you.
May I, Sushmita,
yes,
respond to him?
yes, ma'am.
Shubho, I think we are fortunate to have Mr. Bidan here. So Bidan leads an organization called Prabha Aurora, and they are also working in the Bandarbans area. I think they have a partner organization in that area. I think Bidan might be able to support and help you in some way, and at least guide you in terms of how you can take this forward. So Bidan, are you there? You want to just come in for a bit? I had seen him. Maybe he's dropped
That
out.
too.
Yeah, he's dropped out, I think.
Seems
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it's
But
we
I can
can
continue.
yeah, I think Sushmita can share his coordinates with you,
Yes.
and you can get in touch with him.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you. So thank you everyone for joining us today. The discussion were very insightful and all the experiences very rich to know about different aspects in the community conservation going on with the youth. So thank you so much, Bhagyashri, Manisha, and Mark, who has left for the meeting, but it was very insightful and discussion. And I think they have already shared, their speakers have already shared their email IDs. If anyone have any other queries which has been missed out, please feel free to get in touch with us or them directly, and they can respond to you about the specific programs and plans. And also, I would request you to join our SASEANEE network, which we have shared in the link also, and we can make it more connected with our members and give them more opportunities and resources upcoming, information from the region as well. Thank you very much. And I would like if everyone can turn on their cameras and we can just take a good group picture before closing. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining, and I wish you a very great evening ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.